has time to pull the game within one. The Tetons lose one here at home, 73-72. And we'll have to check now over to the Mondac Conference standings to see if the standings have been updated and how things have been shuffled once again. Science now has the season tiebreaker over Williston State, as Science now at 8-3, technically in second place behind Bismarck State. The Tetons down into third place at 7-3. They have the tiebreaker over Lake Region. Still plenty of season left to go, coming down to the final couple of weeks, so every win now matters for Williston State, and they have to hope that a couple of things land their way to secure hosting the Mondac Conference and the Region 13 Conference here at the Well in Williston. 12:20 left to go before the men's game gets underway. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll have the pregame show for the men's game back in a few minutes. Back here for Teton basketball exclusively all season long on the Williston State College YouTube channel. Time to break down the men's game that we are about 4 minutes away from getting started. It'll be the Tetons taking on NDSCS. Science comes in with a 12-13 overall record on the season, 5-5 in conference. They lost last night in Bottineau to Dakota College at Bottineau. They are also 2-7 on the road. Taking a look at some of the team statistics for Science. So far throughout the season, they are averaging 78 points per game, shooting 39% from the field, 46% from beyond the arc, and 68% from the charity stripe, averaging 37 rebounds per game. They're giving up 40 rebounds per game. They're a negative 3.2 in the rebound margin. 13 assists, 11 turnovers, 7 steals, 2 block shots, and 16 personal fouls per. Taking a look at some of the individual leaders, starting off with scoring. They're led in scoring by Jakeni Dieng, a freshman guard. He's averaging 15.3 points per game. And Nidis Poliskas, he is averaging 12.3 points per game to lead the way in scoring. Looking at some of the ball control stats for the Wildcats, they're led in rebounding on the court by Dieng. He's getting 9.2 rebounds per contest. Now over for Williston State and the Tetons. They're coming in second place in conference play with a 6-3 record. They're winners of their last 2 and are 10-1 here at home. Taking a peek at their team statistics as they have a little under 2.5 minutes before we get ready for the starting lineups. The Tetons, through their 24 games and 8 conference games, are averaging 97 points per game, shooting 49% from the field, 40% from beyond the arc, and 68% from the charity stripe. Tetons are pulling down a total of 41 rebounds per game. They're allowing just 38 rebounds per game, and they're a +8 in the rebound margin. 18 assists, 13 turnovers, 10 steals, just under 4 blocks, and 17 personal fouls committed per game. So the Tetons look for another big Montague Conference win. We'll take a look at the conference standing on the men's side. Dawson Community College still up on top. They're undefeated in conference play at 10-0. They beat Williston State in Glendive, and they have one more game coming up here. It'll be one of the last home games we have for the 2024-2025 season. Tetons in second at 6-3. United Tribes third at 5-4. Science in at 5-5. Then Lake Region at 4-6, tied with Miles Community College. And at the bottom, Dakota College at Bottineau and Bismarck State with equal 2-7 records. We'll take a peek at some of the scores that we have in so far throughout the day. Dakota College at Bottineau beat Lake Region State on the women's side 79-63. And in the third quarter, United Tribes and Dawson, they're in a good one, 32-31, 7:06 left to go in the third. And in Bismarck with a 17-point lead over Miles, 48-31. That one also midway through the third. None of the men's games have started as the second half of those doubleheaders. We'll have to keep track of those ones as well. Half a minute left before we get underway for this one. Game sponsor here this evening is Coca-Cola of Williston. And again, there are some of the youngsters in from Lewis and Clark Elementary as the guests this evening for Teton basketball. Getting some of the pregame announcements underway as the Tetons continue with the same starting lineup that they went yesterday, making the switch to put Richard Massey in their starting five. And Massey played a fantastic game yesterday here at home. And they'll look to try to get after it one more time. It'll start off for the starting lineups for NDSCS. It will be number 1, a 6'5" sophomore guard from Queens, New York, Shadman Khan. Followed up by number 4, Alex Troutman, a 6'3" freshman guard from Anderson, Indiana. Number 10, Naitis Poliskas, a 6'3" freshman guard from Kaunas, Lithuania. Out fourth is number 14, Riley Wolf, a 6'3" freshman guard from Springfield, Missouri. And rounding out the starting lineups is number 1, Michael Cintron. Cintron is a 6'6" sophomore forward from Puerto Rico. And now time for the starting lineups for the home team on the scoreboard, the Williston State Tetons. Tetons coming out first with their starting lineup. A sophomore guard from Katy, Texas at 6'2" tall, Richard Massey. He'll be followed up by a 6' freshman guard from San Antonio, Texas, number 4, Josiah McDonald. A 5'8" sophomore guard from Powers Lake, North Dakota, number 5, Tyson Inget. A 6'4" sophomore guard from Minot, North Dakota, number 11, Ian Johnson. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Tetons, the big man in the middle, a 6'8" sophomore forward from Melbourne, Australia, number 25, Rex Sterling. Tetons are coached by Alex Herman. Coaching staff for NDSCS. Gotch is the head coach, assisted by Kevin Coffney and Iverson Augustin. So Science out on the court, ready to get after it. And the Tetons taking their last second huddle up with Coach Herman. He's looking to get them amped up to see if they can get 2 wins here at home over the weekend. First one in the books against Lake Region yesterday. That one went to overtime. The Tetons ended up coming with the win, 129-124. The Tetons had a 19-point lead at one point before the Royals were able to battle back and hit a banked-in shot right before regulation expired. The Tetons did enough down the stretch. Now here we go, getting ready for this one. It's going to be popped up in the air a couple times. Bulls down to Kalov. To Khan. Khan's going to get it now over to Palaskis. Three-pointer coming. That's going to be off the mark. No good. Tipped around. McDonald's going to take it off in transition. He's going to stop it up top. Swings it over to Massey. Massey gets the pump fake and the blow by. He's going to lay it up and in. Massey hits the deck for good measure. That'll be 2 points now for the Tetons. They climb on top here early. Back come the Wildcats. Out on the wing. He is going to be Troutman. Gets to the high post, guarded by Johnson. He'll hand the ball off to Wolf. Wolf back out to Troutman along the baseline. Johnson with good defense. It'll be dribbled off Johnson's leg, out of bounds. It'll be 15 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Science looking to see if they can even things up. This Teton team is, as advertised, a very, very good and deep team. Coach Herman going 12 deep down the bench regularly. Inbound play now coming for the Tetons. It'll go into the corner to Khan. Khan being guarded by Massey. Massey the best on-ball defender for the Tetons. Here comes a drive by Palaskis. He'll kick it out on top of the perimeter now to Cintron. Cintron working on Sterling. He loses the ball into the hands of Johnson. Johnson weaving through traffic. He'll pull up. Behind him it goes to McDonald. He'll cycle through, gets to the rack, flips it up. English no good. Sterling gets the offensive board. He'll put it back up, and that one drops in there. 2 points for Big Rexy. And the Tetons start off on a 4-0 lead. Back up the board again comes Polkaskis. He's going to drive. He'll lose the ball out of bounds, and he's going to go to the Tetons. Palaskis hitting his wrist as he's gesturing to the officials. He'll have to be careful about that one, depending how ornery this officiating crew wants to feel here this evening. 18:47, back comes Inget up the court. Tetons looking to see if they can't push their 4-point lead out. Johnson now on the near wing. Back up to Inget, looking for Massey on the far wing. Underneath the Herman, and Herman's going to be fouled by Khan. It'll be his first personal, first team. Kahn with the hold down to the low post. Inbound play coming for the Tetons underneath their own basket. Inget calls for action. Looking bounce pass to Sterling, and Rex goes again. He has 4 points early. So Rex looking to eat early against his Wildcat defense. Velasquez pushing up the court. Inget in tow, lightning quick. Velasquez just saved himself from a carry and another turnover. Now Kahn has the ball on the near wing. Looks to hand the ball back off to Velasquez. He's bottled up by Massey. Back over to Kahn in the corner. Inget, good defense. Kahn forced with a big 17-footer along the baseline. He drills that one. First bucket of the game now for Science. Johnson takes the ball across the timeline. Now to Massey. He's going to push through. Gets to the elbow. Out to McDonald. Pass went a little awry. McDonald's able to pull it back in. Massey now on the wing. Looking baseline. Johnson cut a little too early. McDonald for three. That one's going to be off. No good. It'll be pulled down by Troutman. And he'll get it off to Velasquez. We'll push it back up the court for Science. Velasquez looking to drive. And he's going to get to the cup and put it up and in. 4-0 run for Science. And it's a 2-point game. 6-4 with 17:30 left to go in the first half. Massey on the far wing, driving, slips it underneath to Sterling. Sterling's going to be hammered by Troutman, trying to go over the ball. Troutman was not going to let the big man put it up, making sure that he was forced to get two from the stripe. First personal on Troutman. Second team foul, and here comes a couple of subs already. Now a trio of subs for the Tetons. It'll be Marks, Yambi, and Hobbs set to check in after the first free throw from Sterling. First one from Rex is going to be up and good. Rex already with 5 points. Inget, Massey, and Johnson out of the game for the Tetons. So Hobbs, Mark, and Yambi come in. One more on the way, and that one is going to be no good. Tipped away. Rex gets the rebound, gets it up on top to McDonald. Back to Yambi. Wide open look from three. That's going to be no good. Velasquez can't pull down the board, and it'll be tipped out of bounds by the Tetons. Give it back to Science here with 17-17 left to go in the first half. Tetons up by a triple, 7-4. Velasquez from the elbow, pull the trigger. That one rattles out, no good. McDonald pulls down the board. He's going to fly down the court, gets a step on Troutman, and it'll be McDonald pulls it back over to Yambi. Yambi now looks to drive on Wolf, and there's going to be a foul called on Science again. Wolf a little bit too physical on that baseline defense. That'll be Riley Wolf picking up his first. Now 3 Wildcats with 1 foul apiece. 3 team fouls. Yambi set to inbound for Williston State underneath their own basket. Ben calls for action. Marks pops out to the perimeter, picks it up. He's going to be quickly picked up by Cintron. Up to McDonald, over to Yambi. The Sterling screen. Sterling with a good seal. Entry pass gets on the low post. Help defense up on top. It'll go to Mackay. Over to McDonald. McDonald drives, flies. He's going to be hammered on the way up. No call. Sterling gets the rebound, puts it back up and in. Sterling with 7 points in the first 3.5 minutes. Help is on the way now for Science as they're bringing a couple of subs into the game. Velasquez drives again. He's going to lose the ball, but he'll pick it up from going out of bounds. Wolf gathers and shoots a 3, no good. McDonald pulls it down. He'll get it off to Yambi. Yambi and McDonald just about came down with it simultaneously, so they avoided the travel. Sterling now tries his hand from 3. Off the back of the iron, no good. Long rebound, Rex gets it. Gonna drive through, kicks it out to Yambi. Up on top to Marks. Marks for a 3. That's in and out, no good. And Hobbs is gonna be whistled for the foul. It'll be the first on the Tetons and first on Eden. As Josiah McDonald will check out of the game, Will Olsen coming in. And the subs now out of the game is going to be Kahn and Troutman. Checking in is going to be Sebastian Mackey, as well as number 11, Khalif Bettis. Bettis, a sophomore for Science, so he's familiar with most of this Teton squad. Here comes a drive now by Velasquez. He has to get it up on top to Bettis. Bettis kicks it out to Cintron for 3. Off the mark, no good. Mackay will pull it down. He'll get it off to Yambi. Back up the court comes Williston State, 9-4 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Hobbs will drive. High angle, no good. Pulled down by Cintron. He gets it off to Velasquez, who can fly down the court. Velasquez got away with another carry into the corner for Wolf. Contested 3 in the face of Mackay Marks. And Wolf gets his first bucket of the game. Pulls it within 2, 9-7, under 15 and a half left to go in the first. Sterling has it on the high post. Wolf somehow got away with a hand check now. Marks now curling around, gets it off to Olsen up on top. Olsen driving, backdoor cut to Sterling, picked up by Hobbs. Hobbs driving, bounces it out to Olsen in the corner for an Olsen three. That one's off the marks, no good. It'll be pulled down by Bettis. He'll flip it up to Pulaskis. We'll push it back up the court. 15 minutes left to go. Pulaskis again another drive, and he flips it up behind his back, and he gets a Dakota to tie things up. Pulaskis with 4 points, and we have a tie game at 9 apiece. 15 left to go in the first. Yambi was driving. It looks like we had one of the young fans here dropped a water bottle and incidentally kicked it onto the court. There was a little bit of a stoppage in play. 14:52 left to go in the first half. 22 seconds on the scoreboard. They're wiping up any spillage there on the Wildcat bench. Hobbs gets it. Inbound pass now over to Yambi. Yambi's going to split a couple of defenders. He'll get to the bucket. Got hit on the way up by Pulaskis. No call. Pulaskis now gets the ball back from Cintron. Pushes up the court. Gets to the top of the perimeter. Out to Cintron. Ball fake. He's being guarded by Sterling on the perimeter. Now over to Bettis. Bettis lost the ball. Marks trying to keep him. There's a double dribble called, and Bettis was lucky it was just a double dribble because he had a big hook around on Makai Marks. That could have easily been an offensive foul. Eden Hobbs will inbound the ball again to Yambi. Couple more subs coming into the game for Williston State on the next stop. Hobbs surveying, looking. Rex calling for an upstairs pass. Will Olsen on the drive. He's going to step through. He'll be tripped underneath, but Olsen gets it back up and puts it back in. Tetons back up by a bucket. Now another trio sub set to come back in the corner to go. Lob pass underneath to Citron. He's going to put it up and in. He crashed through the lane in a secondary break. Tied back up at 11. Yambi calling for Olsen to come pick up the ball on the wing. Will pushes around the top of the perimeter. Loses the handle momentarily, flips it off to Hobbs. Hobbs looking for a secondary drive, spins on Pulaskis. Little 5-footer turnaround floater up and good for Eden Hobbs. That's his first bucket of the game. 13-11. Now 4 Tetons set to check in on the next stop. Underneath to Wolf. Wolf with a fadeaway of his own, and he knocks that one in. So transition defense. This one may be a very high-scoring game here from the well in Williston this evening. Hobbs on the far wing, hands it off to Marks. Looking underneath for Sterling, nothing there. Wolf with good on-ball defense. Out to Yambi, he is open. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Long rebound comes to Hobbs underneath, gets it underneath to Sterling, and he's going to be hammered again underneath. They're not letting Rex get anything up. As Rex, he was stumbled into the bleacher area. He gave a high five to a fan as we have a media timeout on the court. With 13:21 left to go, we're going to take a 1-minute timeout. Back for more Teton basketball in 60 seconds.
On Steel outdoor power equipment this fall at Acme Tools. Right now, save $50 on the MS250 18-inch gas chainsaw. Built for tough tasks and reliable performance. Plus, save up to $50 on a new Steel backpack blower or blower back and leave the raking up to the neighbors. And the expert service technicians at Acme Tools can get your hard-to-start power equipment tuned up and ready for those fall projects. Find your Steel this fall at Acme Tools or online at acmetools.com.
At American State Bank and Trust Company, we're more than just your local bank. We're your neighbors. We understand your financial needs because we call this community home too. Our commitment to you means personalized service, tailored solutions, and a friendly face every time you walk through the door. Discover the difference of banking with someone who truly cares and go beyond with American State Bank and Trust Company, where community comes first. Stop in or visit asbt.com today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Mike, we're back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. McDonald, Hare, Kindle, Marks, Leon, and Sterling into the game. This is the first time. No, it's going to be Sterling at the line for 2, so Leon will be subbing in for Sterling. So at the line for a pair of shots is going to be Rex Sterling. Sterling with 7 points so far in the game. Here comes the free throw. That one just about lipped out. It fell back in. Rex now with 8. As Leon waits for his chance to enter the game for the first time. 13:21 left to go. Here comes 2 of 2 from Rex, and he knocks that one down. He'll head to the bench with 9 points in the first 6 minutes and 39 seconds of play. So Sterling out, Leon in, and back up the court comes the Wildcats. Pulaskis drives to the far wing, guarded by Hare. Going to cross over on Hare. Did a good job moving his feet to stay in front of the sneaky Pulaskis. Looking to get it down low, and there's going to be a tip pass. Saved by Wolf to get out of bounds, but Mark intercepts the pass. Long pass out to McDonald. Wasn't paying attention. He was racing down the court. So a little bit of miscommunication there for Williston State. McDonald was flaring out to the perimeter, and Mackay thought he was going to open up to pick up a wide open look or a drive to the basket. Turnover, give it back to Science. Tetons up by 2, 15-13. Pulaskis drives, easily get to the rim for 2 more. He has 6 in the game. We're tied back up at 15. Carson Hare gets it over to Kindle. Kindle on the wing to Marks. He'll pull it back up now to McDonald. McDonald looks to drive out to Hare. Hare with a wide open 3 off the side of the rim. No good. It'll be pulled down by Bettis. Bettis will slow things down, gets it up to Pulaskis. He'll weave his way around the top of the perimeter. Now over to Mackey. Mackey driving on Hare. Good defense by Hare. Stripped on the ground. Loose ball. It'll be a tie-up, and alternating arrow will give it to Williston State. Carson Hare playing some big defensive minutes for Williston State as the Tetons able to get the ball back. 12:23 left to go. They kick off, some perspiration off the floor with the bodies diving for that loose ball. Kindle gets the ball into Hare. He'll push it up the court. The freshman from Botno gets it back to Kindle. Kindle crosses over on Wolf. He'll get to the bucket, put it up, and Demetra Kindle, so explosive, easily got to the cup. Tetons back on the high side. Here comes Pulaskis again up the court. He's locked every minute of the game so far. Now he'll kick it over to Cintron, working on Leon around the perimeter. Good defense by Kindle. Gets it now to Bettis. Bettis with a big contested 3, picked up by McDonald. McDonald marches up the court, uses body to keep it away from defenders. Weaves, looking for a backdoor cut, nothing there. Up on top to Kindle. Kindle now into the near wing. One-on-one, looking to break down on an ISO. Kicks it off. McDonald, open look for 3. Off the back of the backboard, no good. Long pass, and it'll be too hot to handle for Cintron. Gets it in the post. McDonald the block, and he rose to the challenge. JoJo with a huge block. He'll drop off the pass behind him now to Hare. Hare gets bumped by Pulaskis, and he gets knocked down again by another defender. Loose ball on the floor. Leon's going to get on it. Gets it off to Kindle. Tetons laying it all on the line. Kindle now will push it back up. 14 on the shot clock. Crossing over on the defender, and there's going to be a foul called on Khalif Buddis, picking up his first personal, 4th team on the Wildcats. And they are going to say not on the foul. Tetons lined up like it was on the shot. As trio of subs now out of the game for Science. Out of the game goes Cintron as well as Mackey and Wolf. Back in is Shadman Khan as Leon gets the inbound pass. Trapped in a corner looking to take the guard. On, gets into the paint, puts one up, no good. Put back by McDonald, that one's no good either. It'll be pulled down, back comes Pulaskis. He's going to push it up the court. He gets down low, high angle, no good. Pulled down by Leon, gets it off to Hare, has a Wolf behind him. The whole bench for the Tetons calling that out as Carson gets it back up to Kindle. Kindle to Marks, head and shoulders fake in the corner. Here comes Hare on the drive, kicks it back out to Mackay. Wide open look for 3. Mackay makes it splash. 20-15. Tetons back up by 5. They've led by as many as 6. Pulaskis on the far wing, looking to cross over. There's a steal by Kindle. Off to the races. Up, and he's going to go with on layup, and it just hits the back of the rim. And there's going to be a foul called on Hare. It'll be his first personal, Tetons second. So Demetra Kindle, who's known for not trying to throw it down, that time went a little bit too finesse on the layup and hit the back of the iron, and it popped out. Pulaskis now working his way back up the court. He'll cross over on McDonald. McDonald trying to put him in a phone booth. Up now to Kahn. Kahn surveilling. Troutman coming around to screen on the bottom. High post now. It'll go to Bettis. Bettis gets a step on Leon, and there's going to be a foul on Freedom. That'll be Freedom's first personal, 3rd team on Williston State. And that will put now Khalif Bettis at the stripe for a pair. Well, 3rd team foul on the Tetons. Still 2 fouls left to give for Science, 3 for Williston State. At the line is Bettis for 2. His first one is going to be up and good. He'll have one more coming. Also into the game for Science, Jack Repsher. He's yet to have a touch out on the court. One more coming for Science. Next one on the way, and that one is going to be good as well. Bettis goes 2 for 2 from the line, down to a 3-point game, 20-17. Back up the court comes Hare. Coach Herman, see how long he goes without bringing in more of his starters. McDonald gets a screen from Leon, and there's going to be a foul called on the court. It looks like it's going to go on either Bettis or Repshire. Or Repspurs, excuse me. So Repshire picks up his first personal. Inbound play now coming for Williston State. Hare looking to inbound. Gets it underneath to Leon. Leon, lots of traffic. He's going to be stripped, and he gets knocked to the ground. Loose ball. It's going to keep it alive. Throws it up in the air. Hare tries to poke it free. Coming away with it is going to be Pulaskis. And tipped out of bounds by the Tetons. Here comes some help for Williston State. In comes Inget, Johnson, and Sterling. Also, Massey checking into the game as well. He'll come in for Marks. The lone player kept out there is Josiah McDonald. Now all starters on the court for the Tetons. They look to hold on to their lead as we are just past the halfway mark of the first. Pulaskis, who's had a sensational game so far, gets it off to Kahn, who's put in a phone booth by McDonald. Kahn backing down on McDonald. He'll pull back for a 12-footer. Up, no good. Pulled down by Sterling. Kicks it off to Inget. Inget, long pass up to Johnson. Gets over onto the near wing. Looks to cross over on Kahn. Now backing down. Johnson. He's going to be cut off. Up on top, it'll go to Massey. Out to McDonald. Slow things down. Inget takes off on a baseline drive. Swing pass into the corner. Johnson for 3. Off the mark, no good. McDonald trying to bring it down. He'll have it tipped out of his hand by Pulaskis. Back to Science. Pulaskis now with the ball on top of the perimeter. He'll flare out to a far wing. Now looking to drive on Inget. Skip pass into the corner. Repshire for 3. No good. Pulled down by Sterling. Back comes JoJo up the court. Long pass over to Johnson. Johnson slowing things down. Gets it to Sterling's going to be tipped away by Bettis. Bring it back up the court is Repshire. Gets away from one defender. Swing pass up on top to Pulaskis. Pulaskis from 30 feet just about banked it in, and there's going to be a foul on the court. And it looks like it may go on Sterling. No, they're going to get it on Massey. So that's the 4th team foul on Williston State. 8:44 left to go on the American State Bank scoreboard, 20-17. Inbound coming for Science. Bettis flaring out. He'll pick it up on top of the perimeter. Now looking to work his way around. Bettis crosses over, loses the handle. Inget comes away with a steal. Look to push it up the court. Gets a step on Repshire. Slow things down as he gets across the timeline. Kicks it off to Johnson. Johnson to there's going to be a pass tipped by Repshire. It's going to go out of bounds. Bettis now will check out of the game. Coming back in is Centron. Also in there is Jonathan Calmes for Science. Up on top, it'll go to Johnson. Hands it back to Inget. High screen from Sterling. Pick and roll. Inget couldn't find a bullet pass from Johnson underneath. Sterling's going to be stripped. It'll fall into the hands of Pulaskis. He'll push it down the court. 3-on-2 break. It'll be Citron. Bounce pass over to Pulaskis. He'll peel back to the perimeter. 1-on-1 with Sterling. Pulaskis has the advantage on the matchup. He's calling for an ISO. He'll pull the trigger from range. That one a bad miss. Hits the side of the iron. Sterling calls for the high pass down low, and he's going to be fouled by Pulaskis, who got into the body of Sterling. Well, that'll be number 1 on Pulaskis. As another sub set to come into the game for Science. Palukis. Apologize for pronouncing his name wrong. So Palukis will pick up his technically 2nd foul, I see. 7th team foul as he'll come out of the game. Darnell Hunter Jr. checks in as Rex Sterling goes to the stripe for another pair. Sterling with 9 points in the game so far. First one on the way, and that one is going to be good. Knocked down the first half of the 1-and-1. Wolf checking back into the game. He'll come in for Repshire. So Riley Wolf back in with 1 foul. And Shadman Khan in with 1 foul as well for Science. Looks to be a little bit of matchup confusion for Science as they look to get back on offense as Sterling knocks down his 2nd of 2. Tetons back up by 5, 22-17. 8 minutes left to go as Hunter Jr. crosses the timeline. He's going to drive. Loose ball picked up by Inget. Inget gets it up to Massey. Massey going to go up and puts it in there. Tough through transition for Massey. He now has 4 points. The Tetons up by 7, their largest lead of the game. See if they can use some of the starters on the bench for the Wildcats to push this lead out. Kalnick will get it now to Wolf. Wolf has a steal. Up it'll go to McDonald. McDonald is going to go up, and he throws it down with a two-handed flush. JoJo with his first 2 points of the game. 26-17. Hunter Jr. back up the court. Inget looking around, waiting to see if any screens are coming. Hunter Jr. now a switch. He'll be guarded by Massey. Looking to drive baseline. There's Sterling. High angle off the glass is going to go up and in for Darnell Hunter Jr. His first bucket. 26-19. Inget back to the top of the perimeter. Looking back door for Massey. Nothing there. Inget now looking to drive. Kicks it to McDonald in the corner. McDonald working on Kahn. Up to Johnson. Johnson looks to take off. He'll give it back to McDonald. Teton slowing things down. Working on Wolf now. McDonald gets to the elbow. He'll go for the quick floater. Up no good. Tipped out by Sterling, but it'll be pulled down by Wolf. He gets it up to Hunter Jr. back up the court. Olsen set to come back in the game for Williston State at the next stop. Now will be handed off over to Calmes. Trying to work around a high screen from Cintron. Working around another one. Three-pointer on the way. Off the iron, no good. McDonald have it tipped away from him, but he's able to reel in the long rebound. He pushes the issue up the court. Bounces it back to Johnson. Now over to Inget. Cross court, it'll go to Massey. Massey with a baseline drive. Easy layup for 2 more. Richard Massey has 6 in the game. Tetons back up by 9 with 6:18 left to go. Timeout of the court by NDSCS. It's a short one. We'll take a short one as well. Back in 30 seconds.
Legacy. It begins the moment we're born, growing with every step as we journey through life. It lives in the relationships we build along the way and in those we love. At First International Bank and Trust, our legacy is you. In every stage of life, we walk with you, making sure you get to where you're going and protecting your legacy for generations to come. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball, exclusively on the Williston State College YouTube channel. Tetons up by 8, 28-19, and they've been eating in the paint so far. They've only hit one shot outside of the paint, and that was a three-pointer by Makai Marks. So now it'll be Science's ball, and Science now has to hurry up after the timeout called. The officials do allow them to get set. Inbound ball goes to Hunter Jr. as he jogs it back up the court. Man-to-man defense for Williston State. Hunter kicks it off to Kahn on the far wing. High screen coming from Cintron. Into the game for Johnson is Olsen. A long step-back three-pointer is going to be made by Kahn in the face of Olsen. Second three-pointer of the game by the Wildcats. Back up the court comes Williston State. Inget looks to drive on Hunter Jr. Out to Olsen up on top. He gets to the elbow and he's turned away. Now a second effort, and there's going to be a push-off on Olsen. That'll be an offensive foul and the 15th foul. And we have, with that stoppage, under 6 minutes, a media timeout. So we're going to take 1 minute break here from the well in Williston. We'll be back for more Teton basketball in 60 seconds.
Save on STIHL outdoor power equipment this fall at Acme Tools. Right now, save $50 on the MS250 18-inch gas chainsaw, built for tough tasks and reliable performance. Plus, save up to $50 on a new STIHL backpack blower or blower back and leave the raking up to the neighbors. And the expert service technicians at Acme Tools can get your hard-to-start power equipment tuned up and ready for those fall projects. Find your STIHL this fall at Acme Tools or online at acmetools.com.
You work hard. You deserve a space that's truly yours. Whether it's upgrading your current home or stepping into something brand new, American State Bank and Trust Company is here to make your dreams a reality.
This is Megan Wenker, Assistant Vice President and Real Estate Loan Manager at American State Bank and Trust Company. Our lending team is committed to offering tailored loan options and expert guidance because you deserve nothing but the best. Visit with Heather Ryder or me and go beyond towards the home of your dreams.
Stop in or visit asbt.com today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Just about back in action in Williston. Tetons up by 6, 28-22, 5:44 left to go. 8 minutes ago on the scoreboard. It was about 13 minutes left. It was a 13-12 game. The Tetons have built a lead. They've led by as many as 8, and there's going to be an offensive foul now called on Science away from the play. We'll have to wait to see who it's on. It's going to go on Shadman Khan, his second personal, 8th team foul. And he'll come out of the game now for Science. Checking in is Sebastian Mackey. Ian Johnson checked back into the game for Williston State. He came in for McDonald. On that timeout, Inget now high post to Sterling. Sterling up on top to Johnson, catch and shoot 3. Johnson got it to go. Ian knocked down his first shot of the game. It's a big one to put the Tetons back up by 9. Hunter Jr. looking to drive, gets a step on Inget, off the board, no good, pulled down by Johnson, gets it back off to Inget. Tyson flying down the court, gets to the top of the perimeter, he'll cross over, spins in the paint, gets it to Olsen, gave up an open look, bounce pass over to Inget on the wing. Inget with a baseline drive. Reverse layup up, no good. Loose ball is going to be pulled down by Mackey. He had Hunter Jr. wide open down the court. Here is a drive by Colmer. Up on top to Centron, looking back door, and there's going to be a foul called on Ian Johnson. That'll be his first personal. 6th team, the last the Tetons had to give, with 4:53 left to go in the half. Yambi said to come in after this first free throw. We're going to call a foul on Olsen. So Johnson does not pick up his foul. It's going to go number 2 on Olsen. As the first free throw is going to be up and good by Calmes. He'll have one more to come. Inget will check out of the game with Yambi coming in for the Tetons. Calmes with one more from the stripe. Currently an 8-point Teton lead, the chance to bring it down to 7. Second on the way from Calmes. That one rattles home. He goes 2 for 2 from the line. 31-24. Yambi bring the ball across the timeline for the Tetons. Gets bumped by Hunter. Lose the ball. Yambi is going to pick it back up. Gets it to Massey. Massey weaves through traffic back up to the top of the perimeter. Kicks it off to Olsen. Olsen driving back out to Massey. Looks to take off. Gets to the elbow. Looks to back down. Tough shot up. And it rolls around the rim and drops in there. Richard Massey now with 8 points in the game. Hunter Jr. again comes up, looks a crossover on Yambi. High angle hits the side of the rim, no good. Pulled down by Massey. Tetons run the court. Up it'll go to Yambi. Yambi kicks it over to Johnson on the wing. Good closeout by Hunter. Yambi now breaking down. He's going to get down low, throwing up, and it'll roll in too. Yambi with his first bucket of the game. 35-24. Tetons up by 11. Closing in on 4 minutes left to go. Kendall and Mark set to check in on the next stop. Hunter Jr. flares out to the far wing. Gets it up on top to Centron. Looks to get it off to a teammate. Nothing there. Massey with a steal. He's off to the races. 2-on-none break. Richard Massey with the two-handed flush. And there's going to be another timeout called by Science as Massey now has 10 points in the game. Tetons rolling up by 13 points, 37-24. It's a full timeout. We'll take a full one as well back in 60 seconds.
At American State Bank and Trust Company, we want you to bank your way, whether that's on the go or at home. We make your life easier with online and mobile banking, bill pay, remote deposit, electronic payments, and more. Free, convenient, secure services, all available to you. Banking should happen on your time, wherever you are and whenever you need it. Go beyond with American State Bank and Trust Company. Stop in or visit asbt.com to enjoy a better digital banking experience. Member FDIC. Farmers and ranchers, set your goals with American State Bank and Trust Company of Williston. Whether it's equipment, land, or working capital, our experienced ag team offers a flexible, competitive, and personalized approach.
This is Aaron Granley, Ag Loan Manager at American State Bank and Trust Company. We understand the challenges and opportunities unique to this region. Reach out today to set up a visit to our office or out in your field.
ASB's experienced and committed ag team is ready to help you go beyond. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Mike Gooder back here for Teton Basketball exclusively all season long on the Williston State College YouTube channel. Tetons up 37-24. Back into the game for Science. They brought back in a couple players. Subbing out is Darnell Hunter Jr. coming into the game. Velasquez checks in. He has the ball up on top of the perimeter. He has 2 fouls and 6 points so far. He'll drive, kick it out over onto the wing. Wolf with a three-pointer. That one's going to be no good. Sterling got held. Rebound goes down to Kindle. Kindle races through over to Marks on the far wing. Mackay for another three, no good. Olsen with a putback up and in. Great play by Will Olsen for the putback. Back up the court now comes Science. Olsen with 4 points in the game. 39-24, 15-point Teton lead. Here comes Science on the drive. Caught up in the middle of the paint, out on top of the perimeter. Now with the ball is Bettis. Bettis back to Velasquez. He's going to drive and he'll lay it up and in. He now has 10 points in the game. Back up the court now comes Yambi and Williston State. 39-26. Here comes Olsen to the bounce pass underneath to Wolf. Loose ball again, still stripped from Sterling, and there's going to be a foul called on Will Olsen. He'll pick up his third personal. And that'll be a 1-and-1 coming for Science. McDonald set to come back in for Olsen. And to the line will go Kalof Bettis for a 1-and-1. Science not back to rebound. They're conceding. Either they're that confident in Bettis to knock down both halves, or they just want to focus on getting on defense as Williston State has their 13-point lead. First one on the way from Bettis of the 1-and-1. That one is no good, so an empty trip to the stripe. Back up the court comes Yambi. Now it'll be Science in a 2-3. They switch out of a 2-3 zone. They go to McDonald, just avoided throwing it away. Sterling on the low post, guarded by Citron underneath. He's going to be hammered, uses his body to bully, and he's going to draw the foul on the way up. That'll be Citron picking up his first personal. 9th team foul on Science with 2.5 left to go in the first. Rex Sterling now from the stripe will have 2 more. At the stripe for the first of 2 is Sterling. That one soft off the front of the rim, no good. Rex will have 1 more, looking to push the lead back out to 14 points. Rex again at the line for his second of 2, taking his time. The big man let the second one go. That one is good. Rex, that time 1 for 2 from the stripe. He now has 12 points in the game. Hunter Jr. gets the ball in. Now over to Balakis. Loose ball on the court. Marks is going to pick it up. He gets it back to Yambi. Pushes it up the court for the Tetons. Yambi gets to the wing. Up to Marks. Now to Kindle. Kindle's going to look to attack. He's going to drive. Flips it up. Dipsy doodle. Got to go. Dimitri Kindle now with 4 in the game. 42-26. 2:09 left to go. Blockus drives up the court. He'll be stopped at the wing. Hands it off to Wolf. Wolf with a very contested three-pointer. Up no good. Kindle and Marks ran into each other. Going up for the rebound. Mackay gets it off to Kindle. Kindle again is going to attack. He gets to the hoop. No good. Tipped up, and there's going to be an offensive foul called on Sterling going for the rebound. They'll call just a loose ball foul, so that will be free throws coming. Hunter Jr. will check out of the game. Repsher coming back in, and it'll be Cintron at the line for a 1-and-1. So it'll be Sterling's first personal, 8th team foul. Repsher the only Wildcat into rebound. First one on the way for Cintron is going to be up and good. Now will come Bettis in to help rebounding. 42-27, 15-point lead for Williston State. $1:51 left to go in the half. Second of 2 on the way. That one is going to be good as well. Wow, a little bit of pushing down underneath with Repsher and Kindle. Repsher gave a good push into the back for Kindle. Kindle's going to cross over again. Euro steps through, out to McDonald. McDonald up to Yambi. Yambi now takes off on the drive. He's going to go high angle, no good. Tipped up by Sterling, and Rex gets it to drop. 2 more for Sterling. He has 14. $1.50 left to go. Black is now coming around a high screen from Citron. Looking backdoor for Repsher. Nothing there. Yambi, good defense on the dynamic playmaker. Bounce pass to Bettis. He'll get it on the low post. Bottled up by Yambi. Bettis now backing down. Repsher underneath. He'll go for a reverse layup up and in. His first bucket of the game. 44-30. Under 1:15 left to go. Yambi coming back up the court, directing traffic for Williston State. He'll hand it off to Kindle. Looking backdoor for Marks. Too tight of a window. Nothing there. Looking for Sterling, gets it up at the stripe. Over to McDonald, can't handle the pass. Was caught leaning the wrong way. And now it'll be the Wildcats to take over with 1 minute left to go. Last couple of possessions for each team. Balakis brings it back up the court. Hounded by McDonald. Gets it over to Wolf on the wing. Hands it to Bettis. Crosses over on Marks. Pulls away with a fadeaway jumper. Up no good. Tipped up in the air. Loose ball on the ground. And there's going to be a tie-up. Is there a timeout called or a turnover? Looks like there's going to be a timeout on the floor called. It's a short one called by Science with 44 seconds left to go. They'll have a fresh 30 on the shot clock. We'll have more for you here from Noel and Williston in 30 seconds.
WCCU is your local credit union, which means they're a not-for-profit financial institution owned by you. WCCU has been serving Williston for many years and is proud of the difference they have made in the community. They are there when you need them, from home, agriculture, and auto loans to checking and saving accounts. If you sign up for a Casasa checking account with WCCU, you'll get more than just free checking. You choose your checking account and get your choice of rewards like nationwide ATM refunds and a really high interest rate. You can also earn cash back on debit card purchases and earn iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon rewards. So join the herd at WCCU.org.
Inbound play coming for NDSCS. Balakis looking to get it in. He'll bounce it into Pettis on the far wing. Up on top now to Cintrone. Working around, looking backdoor for Wolf. Nothing there. Over to go to Repsher. Repsher working on McDonald. Second effort in the air, no good. Sterling will pull it down. He'll get it up to McDonald. McDonald now going to be fouled from behind by Repsher, so Josiah will head to the stripe with 27 seconds left to go. That'll be 2 free throws for the Tetons, but it will give Science the ball back before halftime. So Repsher will pick up his second personal, 10th team foul. Now McDonald with 2 free throws into the double bonus. 44-30 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Referee talking to Bettis for some reason as they look down. Maybe there's a little bit of perspiration on the floor where McDonald hit the deck. Massey coming up to the scorer's table to check in. First one up by McDonald's going to be in and out as there was a double bonus, so there will be one more coming. Massey will be checking in for Marks. Richard Massey with 10 points so far in the game. McDonald sitting just at 2 as he looked to extend that out to 3. And his second one is up and good. That free throw will make it 45-30. Inbound play goes to Balakis. He'll push it across the timeline, calling out for a high screen. Citrone coming to set it on Yambi. 19 seconds left. Wildcats will hold for 1. Yambi in a good defensive position. Now he creeps in to get a count on Balakis. Setting up Citron for the screen. He's going to drive on Sterling. Swing pass into the corner. Repsher for 3 from the wing. No good. Pulled down by Massey. He's going to throw it ahead to Kindle. Kindle at the buzzer. And just short. McDonald tried to tip it in, but it was just off as well. And the Tetons take a 45-30 lead into the locker room at the break. We're going to take a timeout to go grab some of those stats down from the printer when we come back. We'll have the full breakdown of all the stats here from Williston. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
WCCU is your local credit union, which means they're a not-for-profit financial institution owned by you. WCCU has been serving Williston for many years and is proud of the difference they have made in the community. They are there when you need them, from home, agriculture, and auto loans to checking and saving accounts. If you sign up for a Casasa checking account with WCCU, you'll get more than just free checking. You choose your checking account and get your choice of rewards like nationwide ATM refunds and a really high interest rate. You can also earn cash back on debit card purchases and earn iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon rewards. So join the herd at WCCU.org.
At American State Bank and Trust Company, we want you to bank your way, whether that's on the go or at home. We make your life easier with online and mobile banking, bill pay, remote deposit, electronic payments, and more. Free, convenient, secure services, all available to you. Banking should happen on your time, wherever you are and whenever you need it. Go beyond with American State Bank and Trust Company. Stop in or visit ASBT.com to enjoy a better digital banking experience. Member FDIC.
WCCU is your local credit union, which means they're a not-for-profit financial institution owned by you. WCCU has been serving Williston for many years and is proud of the difference they have made in the community. They are there when you need them, from home, agriculture, and auto loans to checking and saving accounts. If you sign up for a Casasa checking account with WCCU, you'll get more than just free checking. You choose your checking account and get your choice of rewards like nationwide ATM refunds and a really high interest rate. You can also earn cash back on debit card purchases and earn iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon rewards. So join the herd at WCCU.org.
For more than 70 years, Expanse Electrical Company has delivered market-leading electrical, power, and automation expertise. Built on a legacy of technology, quality, and craftsmanship. They are confident that they have the best team in the industry and welcome the opportunity to serve you. Proud member of the Williston community, Expanse continually works to build a better future for their company, their craftsmen, and their customers. They pride themselves on having one of the most proficient teams of directly employed licensed electricians and automation engineers in the industry. Interested in firing up your career? Visit expanseelectrical.com/careers to learn about their openings in the North Dakota region.
Legacy. It begins the moment we're born, growing with every step as we journey through life. It lives in the relationships we build along the way and in those we love. At First International Bank and Trust, our legacy is you. In every stage of life, we walk with you, making sure you get to where you're going and protecting your legacy for generations to come. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Looking for reliable professional services for your business? Look no further than One Core Services. They specialize in optimizing operations, enhancing productivity, and ensuring safety across all facets of your business. Whether you need high-pressure pumps, hydrochloric acid, or bulk chemicals, we've got you covered. One Core Services tailor solutions to fit your unique needs, helping you save time and money. Ready to take your production to the next level? Call us today at 701-774-1105. One Core Services, LLC, your trusted partner for success in the oil and gas industry.
Red Rock Ford is a proud supporter of Williston State College Teton Athletics and our community. At Red Rock, we encourage you to get behind our athletes, schools, and local community. Let's support our friends and neighbors as we work together to make our city a great place to live and raise our families. And when it comes time for your next vehicle purchase, see us at Red Rock Ford, where a portion of every dollar spent goes right back into the community you know and love. That's Red Rock Ford, your hometown Ford store, proudly supporting Teton Athletics.
Save on STIHL outdoor power equipment this fall at Acme Tools. Right now, save $50 on the MS250 18-inch gas chainsaw, built for tough tasks and reliable performance. Plus, save up to $50 on a new STIHL backpack blower or blower back and leave the raking up to the neighbors. And the expert service technicians at Acme Tools can get your hard-to-start power equipment tuned up and ready for those fall projects. Find your STIHL this fall at Acme Tools or online at acmetools.com.
Mike, we're back here. We are at halftime. Just a few minutes left before we get going, so we'll rapid fire you through these halftime stats, starting off with NDSCS and the Wildcats. Leading the way in scoring is Nidus Palaskis. He has 8 points at the break on 4 of 8 shooting, 5 points in each from Shadman Kahn, as well as Riley Wolf. 4 points coming in from Michael Cintron, and then 2 points each from Jonathan Calmes, Darnell Harold Hunter Jr., Khalif Bendis, and Evan Repshear. Shooting in the first half for Science, they were 11 of 29 from the field for 37%, 2 of 11 from deep for 18%, and 6 of 7 from the stripe for 85%. 14 total rebounds in the first half, 13 defensive, 1 offensive rebound. Leading the way is Cintron, who has 4. 5 assists, 4 steals, no blocks, 12 turnovers, and 8 personal fouls in the game. Repshear and Palaskis each have 2. We'll have to check here. Repshear, Palaskis, as well as Kahn each have 2 personal fouls. The official stat sheet needs a correction on that one. Looking over at the Tetons, leading the way in scoring is Rex Sterling. 14 points on 4 of 5 shooting and 6 of 8 from the stripe. 10 points from Richard Massey. He's a perfect 5 for 5 from the field. Most of them have come, if not all of them have come, at point-blank range at the cup. 4 points in from Will Olson and Demetra Kindle. 3 points in each from Josiah McDonald, Ian Johnson, and Makai Marks. And then 2 points from Eden Hobbs and Ben Yambi. Shooting for the Tetons in the first half, they were 18 of 39 for 46%, just 2 of 13 for deep for 15%, and 7 of 10 for the line for 70%. Looking at rebounding for the Tetons, they have 24 rebounds in the game. They're a plus 10 in the rebound margin. Rex Sterling with 8 rebounds in the game, 3 defensive, 5 offensive rebounds. The Tetons overall have 17 defensive and 7 offensive rebounds. 6 assists, 8 steals, 1 block, 8 turnovers, and just 5 personal fouls. Will Olson picked up his 3rd personal foul with about 5 minutes left to go in that first half. Looking at some of the advanced stats here, with under a minute left to go before we get underway. Points in the paint, 30-14 in favor of the Tetons. Points off of turnovers, 19-4 Tetons. Second chance points, 10-0 Tetons. Bench points, 15-8 Tetons. There's been 4 ties, 0 lead changes. Last field goal for Science came with 1:17 remaining. The last one for the Tetons came with 1:30 left in the half. Science has yet to lead yet in the game. The Tetons want to keep it that way into the second half. Tetons led by as many as 16 points. Currently sitting at a 15-point advantage, 45-30. Everyone getting back out on the court for Williston State as they bring back all 5 starters here to start things off in half number 2. So for the Tetons, it's Massey, McDonald, Inget, Johnson, and Sterling. Now looking to see who's going to come out for Science. Pulaski gets the ball on top of the perimeter. Crosses between, it'll be picked up by McDonald over onto the far wing to Wolf. Wolf hands it off up on top of the perimeter. Now here comes a drive down underneath to Repshear. Now over to Kahn. Wolf on the drive. Down low, bounces against Massey. Out to go to Cintron for 3. Off the mark, no good. Long rebound goes out to Palaskis. Gets it out to Wolf. Wolf got away with a travel on that. He'll get to the top of the perimeter and hit a long 2-pointer. That'll be knocked down by Riley Wolf. Wolf now with 7 points in the game, and it'll be a pass tipped out of bounds by Wolf from Johnson to Massey. It'll stay with the Tetons. 19:21 left to go. Tetons up on top. 45-32. Tetons get the ball now into the hands of McDonald. He'll swing it to Massey. Baseline drive from Massey. He'll slide through, puts it up and in. 2 more for Richard Massey. He's having himself another game. He led the team in scoring last night against Science. Now Palaskis looking to drive. Cut off on the low post. Out to Wolf, who'll fire from 3. That one's off, no good. Pulled down by Massey. He'll get it off to Inget, who marches across the timeline. Tall pass up to McDonald. He's going to blow by a couple of defenders. Flips it into Johnson in the corner. Johnson now over to Massey, who's looking to split a couple of defenders. He's going to throw it up, and there's going to be a offensive foul called as Coach Herman just kind of shakes his head yes on that one. Repshire did a good job sliding in and getting set at the last second. That'll be number 2 on Massey. First team foul on the Tetons here in the second half. Tetons in a little bit of token full court press. They'll full back. Now Balakis has the ball guarded by McDonald. Crossing over, looking to find some room to operate. Gets it off to Wolf. Wolf again for a 3. Johnson with a late contest. It'll be Sterling pulls down the board. McDonald gets the ball and now pushes it back up the court. 47-32. McDonald gets to the paint. Crosses over, finds some room to operate. He's going to flip it up. Pulled down by Sterling, who's going to put it back up and in. Rex with the rebound and the bucket. That'll be up now 49-32. Velasquez cut off by Massey. He has put anyone he's guarded in a phone booth. Velasquez got away with a shoulder shove into the chest of Johnson. Now here comes a drive, kicks it out. Repshire with a corner 3. That airball's over top of everything. One-on-one, Velasquez and Massey. Massey will slow things down. Long pass over to Inget. Inget's going to drive. Baseline bounce pass to Sterling. He's going to be fouled. That's going to be number 3 on Repshire. First team foul of the half on Science. So that'll send Sterling back to the stripe for a pair. Rex at the line now for his first of 2. He's sitting at 16 points as he knocks down his first one. Sterling at the stripe for his second. That one will rattle around and drop in there. 2 for 2 that trip for Rex. Tetons now up 51-32. McDonald with the steal off the inbound pass. He's going to back it off to Massey. Massey with a 3-pointer. That one's going to be up and over everything. Repshire will track it down in the corner. Tetons also back on defense. Here comes Balakis up the court. He'll cross over, looking to get it off to Wolf. Wolf tries his hand again from 3. That one rolls in. Wolf has all 5 points for Science in this second half so far. 17:25 left to go. Full court press. Sterling forces it over to Johnson. Johnson's going to be double teamed now to Sterling. McDonald up on top. He'll get it to Inget. Inget's going to take off, gets in the paint underneath to Sterling. Wide open. Rex now with 20 points. So Sterling with a great dime from Inget, and the Tetons up by 18. Velasquez swing pass up on top. Cintron now with a 3 from straight away. That's a long rebound. It'll be pulled down by Rex. Gets it off to Inget. He'll push it up to Johnson. He'll cycle through. Johnson up and in for 2. Ian now with 5 in the game. Tetons up by 20. Here comes 4 subs to check in for Science. Velasquez loses the ball. Not called a double dribble. Should have been. Kahn will pick it up. Screen on top from Kahn. That's going to be soft off the front of the rim. No good. Pulled down by Sterling. McDonald 2-on-1 up the break. McDonald slows down out to Johnson. Gets it to Massey up on top. Massey kicks it to Inget. He'll take off. Driving through the paint. Cut off down low now to Massey. He'll try and curling around. Massey hangs. Floats. No good. And there's going to be a foul called on McDonald. And McDonald accidentally knocked Massey down as he was just trying to get back up. So 4 subs coming into the game for Science, and they have now the lone player staying on the court is going to be Riley Wolf. So making sure we have all the subs. Now Wolf's going to come out late of the game. Looks like they did do 5 substitutions out there. Up the court now comes Hunter Jr. working his way up the court. He'll pull it back along the perimeter. Hunter Jr. on top of the perimeter. Here comes a drive now from Mackey. Mackey gets to the paint. He'll pull the 12-footer, and that one's going to be up and good. Sebastian Mackey with the mid-range J. 55-37. More full court press. Bounce pass over to McDonald. Spins away from traffic behind his back. Slips again, and he's going to be whistled for the travel as he found Sterling all alone underneath. He was a wizard with the ball on that one, but a little too much in his face to keep his pivot foot down. Ball goes out of the corner now to Tellman. He's going to drive on McDonald. Cut off in no man's land. Underneath it'll go to Mackey. Going to be put up and in by Mackey. 4-0 run by Science. 55-19. More full court press. McDonald. He'll have it. Bounce pass to Johnson. Push it up ahead to Marks. Mackay with a 3 in transition, and Mackay will knock it down. Great 3-pointer for Marks. Didn't even see that he came in for Inga. That's the 3rd triple of the game for Mackay. That'll be Mackey again. Crossing over, Yami with the strip, but it's going to be picked back up by Bettis. He'll peel it back out. Shot clock did not reset. Tetons were unable to secure a full possession. Hunter Jr. now driving on Johnson. Ian with a tough defense there. Forces the miss from Hunter. It'll be Sterling with the board. He'll get it back up to Yambi. 58-39, closing in on 15 minutes left to go on the American State Bank scoreboard. Yambi over to McDonald. Surveilling, waiting, looking for Sterling, and it's going to be stolen away by Bettis. He'll push it up ahead to Mackey. Yambi, the only one in on defense, and it'll be up and no good. They're going to call a goaltend on McDonald. So the basket is credited to Mackey. Make it 58-41. More full court press coming for Science. They look to gain some extra possessions here against the Tetons, make it tougher sledding for Williston State to come away with a win. Marks dribbles out of traffic. He's going to have it stolen away from him, tipped back, and he's going to force it up to Johnson. Johnson able to sky to reel in the ball. 14.5, Sterling on the low post, guarded by Bettis. Out on top to McDonald. He'll take off, crossover on Hunter, spin in the paint, floats, and gets it to drop. Josiah McDonald deep in his bag. Here comes a long run out, and there's going to be a foul called on Johnson as the shot was put up by Calmise. So Johnson will pick up his first personal, third team. Coach Herman wanting his guys to get back quicker on defense to not allow those runouts. Now the line will be Jonathan Calmise. He'll have 2 shots coming from the stripe. Olsen and Kindle sent to check in for Williston State after this first that rolls around the rim a couple of times and drops in. McDonald and Johnson checking out of the game. Olsen and Kindle in. Olsen with 4 points in the game, also 4 points for Kindle, as Calmise is at the stripe for his second of 2. Next one on the way, that one's going to be good as well. And there's a stoppage on the court as Troutman will come out of the game. They're going to bring in Velasquez. As it looks like there is a little bit of a Troutman may have a bloody nose as he's going to go across and see some medical attention. Kindle now gets the ball, some tough defense, gets it up to Yambi. The Tetons can slow things down. Olsen looking to get a Kindle in the paint, going to drive down onto the baseline. And there's going to be a travel called on Kindle. Looked like he kept his pivot foot down. But he'll give the ball back. Tetons turn the ball over to Science in a 17-point game, 60-43. 14:05 left to go as Hunter Jr. crosses the timeline. Marks will pick him up along the perimeter. Now to Velasquez. Looks to cross over. Kindle there with help defense. Bounce pass over to Calmise on the wing. Calling for a clear out. One-on-one. Kindle and Calmise. Calmise will step out. He's going to drive, gets to the cherry stripe, into the corner for Hunter Jr. He's going to drive for the floater. That's going to go up and over everything, no good. Loose ball, Sterling will come down with it. He'll kick it off to Yambi, who will push it up across the court. Wildcats pull back after the miss and get into their half-court defense. Yambi wheels around, gets it to Marks. Marks pulls the trigger off the front of the iron, no good. Pulled down by Mackey. He'll push it back up to the court, get it to the hands of Calmise. Calmise flips behind him, back to Mackey. Three-pointer on the way, off the iron, no good. Pulled down by Marks. Mackay now pushes it up the court for the Tetons. Back up to Yambi. He's going to cross over on Hunter. He'll drive and flip it up. Got it to go, and one for Ben Yambi. A huge play for the Tetons. As Yambi a little bit slow to get up, and he is grabbing his left ankle. He looks like he is in a good amount of pain. There's going to be a media timeout. That foul is going to go against Mackey. Yambi putting weight on that ankle, so a good sign. He will also get a little bit of medical treatment. We have a media timeout. We're going to take it. It's a 1 minute. We'll be back in 60.
Looking for reliable professional services for your business? Look no further than One Core Services. They specialize in optimizing operations, enhancing productivity, and ensuring safety across all facets of your business. Whether you need high-pressure pumps, hydrochloric acid, or bulk chemicals, we've got you covered. One Core Services tailor solutions to fit your unique needs, helping you save time and money. Ready to take your production to the next level? Call us today at 701-774-1105. One Core Services, LLC. Your trusted partner for success in the oil and gas industry.
At American State Bank and Trust Company, we're more than just your local bank. We're your neighbors. We We understand your financial needs because we call this community home too. Our commitment to you means personalized service, tailored solutions, and a friendly face every time you walk through the door. Discover the difference of banking with someone who truly cares and go beyond with American State Bank and Trust Company, where community comes first. Stop in or visit asbt.com today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Mike, we're back here for Teton basketball. 13-11 left to go in the second half on the American State Bank scoreboard. Ben Yambi at the stripe after hitting the and one. As he was relacing his shoe, he tweaked an ankle. Here comes the free throw. No one to check in as Yambi knocks down the free throw. Completes the three-point play. First three-point play completed of the game. Now back come the Wildcats. We'll be watching how Yambi moves on the court. He has some good lateral movement. We'll have to see how he can perform. Hunter Jr. now driving on Marks. Baseline pass underneath. They get it now. Flip pass to Bettis. Back it'll go to Calmise on the wing. Calmise picks up a screen from Bettis. Pick and roll out there. Calmise looks to drive. And he'll get it up and over the top of Marks for two more. Back down to an 18-point game. Now 63-45. Olsen working up the court against Pulaskis. He'll get across the timeline to the near wing. Calling for a clear out. Over it'll go to Kindle. Kindle gets into the paint. Goes with a little floater up and no good. And there's going to be a foul called underneath. Didn't see who was on. They're going to put it on Sterling. Looks to be a clean play for Rex there. Now Yambi will come out of the game for Williston State. Carson Hare comes in for the Tetons. Hare's been earning some bigger minutes as the season has went on. 63-45. One tick under 12 and a half left to go in the game. Hunter Jr. looking to drive on Hare. There's going to be a quick foul called on Carson Hare. He'll pick up his second, fourth team foul on the Tetons. So Tetons now looking to see if they can sink down defensively and stop a potential comeback from the Wildcats. Calmise set to trigger from underneath the Teton bucket. So some more perspiration out on the court as they're going to go to the bench and pick up a towel. We've seen the players several times throughout the game wiping off their shoes to make sure they get some good traction as they wipe up a little bit, as we have a little bit of a delay before we get going. And still over getting some treatment is going to be Alex Troutman. He's sitting right behind the Teton bench, so maybe a little bit more as he has his his taped left wrist. He's still getting some medical treatment, so I'm not sure if it was some blood on the jersey or if it's a wrist issue. And Yambi still trying to walk off that ankle. He's heading back to the bench now for the Tetons. Pass goes up on top to Bettis. He'll hand it off to Pulaskis. Bettis now setting a screen for Pulaskis. Good job by Hare. Lateral movement. Pulaskis kicks it out on top to Calmise. He'll drive. Floats in the paint and in and out it'll go. Loose ball pulled down by Kindle. Tetons will take back over. Dimitrik now crosses back up the court. Gets a step on Mackey. Dimitrik drives. Hits the brakes at the perimeter. Crosses over. And now he'll drive again. Gets the elbow to the cup. And it'll be up, no good. Sterling tips it up, no good. Bettis comes down with it. He'll push it up the court, 3-on-3. Hunter Jr. gets to the elbow, circles through, up on top. Calmise gets a wide open look, and there's going to be blocked by Kindle. It'll be taken down by Sterling, off to Olsen. Long pass to Kindle, in the corner to Marks. Back to Kindle. He'll get it over to Hare. Hare now looks to drive. He's going to drive on Hunter. It's going to be a foul, late foul called on Darnell Hunter Jr. That looked to be a clean block. And he couldn't believe it, as it'll be Carson Hare going to the line for two. Wolf set to check in for Science here after this first free throw from Hare. So Carson with a chance now to crack the scoring column. And first one up by Hare, and as Hare was about ready to release the free throw, Jonathan Calmise started clapping, looking at Hare. Hunter, who just picked up his first foul, comes out of the game for Wolf. Next one up by Hare is going to be good. He knocked down both free throws, and the Tetons back up by 20, 65-45 with 11:30 left to go in the game. Pulaskis up on Olsen, looking to drive. Sterling reaches in. Pulaskis dribbles it off his knee, and it'll go out of bounds back to the Tetons. Refs here set to come back into the game as well. He'll come in for Mackey. Mackey started off hot in this second half when he entered the game. Inbound play now for the Tetons. Hare will get the inbound pass. He'll put it up the court. Long pass to Sterling. Sterling looking to drive on Bettis. He's going to take it all the way to the hole. Rex puts it up a little too hard on the layup. And he'll get it back to Pulaskis. He's has a head of steam up the court. Little hesitation up. Over to Wolf now. Wolf with a three-pointer from the wing. That's going to be up no good. Olsen skies for the rebound. He'll pull it down. Pass is going to be tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Tetons. 11:04 left to go. Williston State looking to hold on to their big lead, 65-45. The bench has shortened up for both squads here as we trickle through this second half. More full court press. Kindle will get it into Hare in the backcourt. He'll work his way up against Repshire. Repshire picks his pocket, but it'll be Hare who's going to come away with it. Hare gets knocked to the ground. Cannot believe there was no foul called there. Carson was hit from behind by Repshire and has caused a fall down. And that'll give it back to Science. They'll be inbounding from their own baseline. Calmese set to trigger the inbound pass. Wolf curling around a double high screen. Go up on top to Repshire. Now out on the perimeter. Three-pointer coming from Pulaskis. No good. Kindle pulls it down. He's looking to push up through traffic. Picked up by Wolf on the near wing. Kindle crosses over, looking to find some room to work. He'll kick it off on top to Hare. Hare will pull it back. Kicks it to Kindle as the Tetons set up their half-court look. Dimitrik now guarded by Wolf. Wolf trying to reach in, and there's going to be a foul called on Wolf. That'll be his second. Fourth team foul on Science here with 10:33 left. Teton sitting at 5 team fouls. Bounce pass goes to Sterling. Gets it on the low post, gets underneath, and he's going to be fouled by Bettis. That'll be number 2 on Bettis. 5th team foul now. As setting to come back into the game is Citron, as well as Yambi and McDonald, and now Hobbs up to the scorer's bench. So Bettis now getting a little bit of a talking to from one of the officials as Sterling is at the line for a pair. That first one is going to go up and in. So it will now be, there's 4 Tetons now checking into the game. Massey, Yambi, Hobbs, and McDonald. So the Tetons now looking to get one more from the line for Sterling, and now here comes Leon to check in. Second of 2 is going to be good for Rex as well, as he'll come out of the game. 67-45 with 10.5 on the dot left to go. Up the court now comes Pulaskis. Repshire sneaks through. Citron with a high ball screen. Pulaskis crosses over. Step back three-pointer. That one buried by Pulaskis. He now has double digits with 11 points in the game. Yambi working against the full court man-to-man press. He'll work his way up the court now, get across the timeline. Reverse dribble, gets a step on his defender, pushes it up to McDonald. McDonald takes off, gets to the elbow. Looking to get it off to Yambi on the wing. Little shimmy. He's going to jump stop in the middle of the paint. Turn around, off the board. No good. It'll be pulled down by Calmese. Pushing up the court, 3-on-2. Calmese underneath to Pulaskis. Lays it up and in. 5 straight points by Pulaskis, down to a 17-point lead for the Tetons. Under 10 minutes left to go. Bounce pass to Leon across the timeline. Gets it to Yambi in a dangerous pass. Now to McDonald. McDonald gets it off now to Massey. He'll curl around. Gets to the top of the free throw line. Hobbs thought about pulling the trigger. He's going to bully himself in against Repshire. Little turnaround jumper up and in. Will Hobbs, who now has 4 points in the game, push the lead back up to 19. Under 9.5 left to go. Pulaskis looking to drive. Kicks in the corner. Wolf for 3. And that's going to be off the mark. No good. Pulled down by Richard Massey. Now he'll get it off to Hobbs. Hobbs puts his shoulder down. He's going to drive. He'll pull back up. Now the Tetons working it back around the perimeter. McDonald, the big jab step. He puts it on the deck. Guarded by Repshire. Hands it off in the corner to Massey. Massey with a baseline drive. He's cut off. Throws it into no man's land. It'll be Leon who pulls it down. Massey couldn't quite get it, and there's going to be a foul called on Leon. That'll be his second personal. The Tetons just a little bit out of sorts. That offensive possession, number 2 on Freedom, number 6 on the team. Here with 8:56 left to go. Long inbound pass goes to Calmese as Pulaskis was guarded by Massey. Pulaski now picking up another screen from Citron. Crossing over, flips it back up to Citron. Good closeout by Leon to keep Citron away from taking a three. Freedom's going to cause the turnover, picked up by Yambi. Yambi tries to flip it underneath to Freedom. Loose ball on the court, comes back to Rapshire. He's going to be tripped up as he works his way back down the court. We'll see who it's on. That will go against Yambi, and that'll be free throws coming for Science here with 8:33 left to go. 69-50 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Jack Repshier at the stripe. Coach Herman talking to his guys on the bench. We'll see how long he goes before he pulls the trigger to put some of his starters back on this second unit that's out there. Is very, very capable. First free throw by Repshier is going to be off the mark. No good. He'll have one more coming. Yambi now bringing it back up the court. He'll cross the timeline. Picked up by Pulaskis. Yambi calling out directions. Kicks it over to Hobbs. Hobbs going to be hand checked by Wolf. No call. Now to Massey. Massey's going to be fouled by Wolf. Now Wolf picks up his third personal. So that'll send Richard Massey. No, not yet. It'll just be the sixth team foul. Third personal on Wolf. That was the last foul that Science had to give. Both teams will be shooting the rest of the way. Bounce pass goes up on top to Hobbs. Now to Yambi. He'll come around to Leon's screen. Citron with some good on-ball defense. Yambi through, and he's going to be fouled. Yambi will go to the line. We'll see who it's on. A trio of Wildcats in the way, and it's going to go against Wolf, picking up his fourth. So Wolf in some foul trouble, and he's been their best three-point shooter so far in the game. As Yambi now sits at 5 points. As a chance for a couple more. His first of two is going to drop in the bucket. Puts the Teton lead back up to 20, 70-50 with 8:11 left to go. Yambi at the line for his second of two. On the way goes. That one rattles home as well. 2 for 2 that trip for Williston State. That had a good shooting performance from the strike here so far. Velasquez back up the court, closing in on 8 minutes left to go. Calmise now working on McDonald, crosses over Josiah. Now doing good job. Wolf with a little short fadeaway, no good. McDonald will pull it down. Wolf with some tough on-ball defense. He'll have to be careful not to pick up his fifth. Yambi now working up. He'll cross over on Repshier. Gets in the paint. Repshier is going to reach in and foul him. That'll be number 4 on Repshier. That'll send Yambi back to the line, and he looks like he has a newfound sense of urgency after tweaking his ankle. He looks no worse for wear. 8th team foul on Science. Now 2 players on the court with 4 fouls apiece. Oh, they're going to... So they initially called for a 2-team foul, and that's going to be a 2-shot foul. Instead, it's just a 1-and-1 for Yambi. His first one is going to be rattled in, and he'll have one more coming. So everyone got back on defense. The confusion, I think the clarification caused more confusion than the initial situation. So now it'll be 1 shot for Yambi, who's now sitting at 8 points. Yambi at the stripe for his second of 2. Calmise and Hobbs joking around about the confusion out on the court. Yambi to the stripe for his second of 2. That one is good. Yambi lights out from the line. 73-50. Back up the court comes Calmise and the Wildcats. Looking to try to get it over to Pulaskis. Going to get it over now to Repshier. He'll pull back out along the perimeter, guarded by McDonald. Looking to do some work. Over to Wolf. Wolf with a contested 3. Throws it up. No good. Leon with the rebound. Gets it off to McDonald. Wildcats pull back. Long pass over to Yambi. 1-on-1 with Wolf. Up on top to Hobbs. Hobbs going to cross over. Spin in the paint. He's going to be stripped. It'll be picked up by Pulaskis. 3-on-1 break. Repshier's going to be up and in. It'll drop. Jack Repshier now with 4 points in the game. Coach Herman is going to call for a timeout. Some confusion on the court as well. So it's a full timeout, but the way the officials was referring, Science called a timeout before Coach Herman could. So it'll be 73-52. We have a full timeout, 7:13 left to go. We'll be back in 1 minute.
WCCU is your local credit union, which means they're a not-for-profit financial institution owned by you. WCCU has been serving Williston for many years and is proud of the difference they've made in the community. They're there when you need them, from home, agriculture, and auto loans to checking and saving accounts. If you sign up for a Kasasa checking account with WCCU, you'll get more than just free checking. You choose your checking account and get your choice of rewards like nationwide ATM refunds and a really high interest rate. You can also earn cash back on debit card purchases and earn iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon rewards. So join the herd at WCCU.org.
Save on STIHL outdoor power equipment this fall at Acme Tools. Right now, save $50 on the MS250 18-inch gas chainsaw, built for tough tasks and reliable performance. Plus, save up to $50 on a new STIHL backpack blower or blower back and leave the raking up to the neighbors. And the expert service technicians at Acme Tools can get your hard-to-start power equipment tuned up and ready for those fall projects. Find your STIHL this fall at Acme Tools or online at acmetools.com.
Back in action at the well in Williston. Tetons have the ball. 7:08 left to go. McDonald looking to drive on Velasquez. He'll get to the free throw line. Keeps his dribble alive out on top to Massey. Now to Hobbs. Hobbs shimmying and shaking on Wolf. He'll push it back now. He's going to look to attack. Out to Yambi it goes. Now to Massey. Massey drives. He'll get to the bucket and put it in. Two more for Richard Massey. He has 14. Back at the court comes Velasquez. Crossover, looking to get a step on. Massey spin in the paint, kicks it out, intercepted by Hobbs. 2-on-2 up the court. Hobbs gets wide. He waits for help. Bounce pass underneath to Massey. Hangs, and he'll get called for the foul. That'll go on Calmise. And that'll send the Tetons back to the line with 6:36 left to go in the game. Ian Johnson was set to check back in, and he got pulled back by Coach Herman. It'll be Mackay and Tyson Inget set to check in. At the line for two is Richard Massey. First is on the way, and that one's going to be off the back of the iron. No good. He'll have one more coming. Inget will check in for Yambi. And also out of the game is going to be Calmise and Wolf. Coming in is... first one coming in is Bettis. Cintron coming in. Second one by Massey is going to be up and good, and Massey will come out with Mackay Marks checking in. Back up the court comes Science. 6.5 left to go. Velasquez swings it over on the perimeter to Mackey. Mackey crosses over on Leon, and there's going to be a foul called on Freedom. It'll be his third. That'll be a couple of free throws coming for Sebastian Mackey. He has 6 points in the game. Chance for a couple more. 8th team foul on Williston State. Currently 9 team fouls on Science, so the Tetons will be shooting double bonus the rest of the way. Mackey at the stripe for his first of two. He'll knock it down and get one more. Lead is back down to 23, 76-53. Just under 6.5 left to go in the second. Mackey with 7 points, looking for 8. This next one is on the way. That one is going to be in and out. No good. McDonald will pull down the board, and he'll get it off to Inget. Inget working on Velasquez up the court. He'll get across the timeline, gets a step. Now we'll hand it off to McDonald. McDonald now gets to the top of the free throw line. Caught on the low block, got away with a little bit of a shoulder shove, but McDonald gets the teardrop to go. Josiah McDonald now with 7 points in the game. Tetons back up by 25. Velasquez, top of the perimeter, looking to take on McDonald. That's a tall task to do. He's going to pull the trigger from way downtown, off the bar, no good. And it'll be saved from going out of bounds by Repshear, and they're going to say it was on the boundary line. A very late call came in, not sure. They'll reset the shot clock to 20. It might have said Inget had a toe on the line when Repshear knocked it off of him. Bettis coming around a high curl. They get underneath to Citron. Backing down on Leon. Stripped by Inget. What a play by Tyson. He works his way back up the court now to Hobbs. Hobbs through traffic. Steps through. High angle. Got it to go. Eden Hobbs now with 6 in the game. 80-53. 5:40 left to go. Velasquez with a head of steam down the court, and he's going to put it up. No good. He'll hit the deck. Tetons push back up the court. They have a man advantage. 4 Wildcats set to come back in. Marks from a corner 3 wide open. Mackay will knock it down, his third of the game. 5 Wildcats now set to come back in. 5:20 left to go. Lead is up to 30 for Williston State. Sterling was set to come back in with a 30-point lead. He may be done for the day. Repshear from the wing, a 3 for him. That's going to be no good. Pulled down by Marks. He'll get it off to McDonald. Now Sterling's day is done as he goes, sits down at the end of the bench. Will Olsen and Carson Hayers had to come back in. McDonald, flip pass underneath to Leon. He can't handle the pass into the hands of Pettis. Back up the court comes the Wildcats. They get it over to Mackey in the corner. Three-pointer on the way from Pulaskis. No good. Hobbs with the board. He'll sing it up to McDonald. McDonald alley-oop with Leon. Finishes at the rim. Freedom Leon with his first bucket of the game. There's going to be a timeout called by Science. 32-point lead for Williston State. It's going to be a short one. We'll take a short one as well. Back in half a minute.
You work hard. You deserve a space that's truly yours. Whether it's upgrading your current home or stepping into something brand new, American State Bank and Trust Company is here to make your dreams a reality.
This is Megan Winker, Assistant Vice President and Real Estate Loan Manager at American State Bank and Trust Company. Our lending team is committed to offering tailored loan options and expert guidance because you deserve nothing but the best. Visit with Heather Ryder or me and go beyond towards the home of your dreams.
Stop in or visit asbt.com today. Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
They extended the timeout to a 60-second timeout. 4:41 left to go in the game. Tetons comfortably in control, up by 32 points, 85-53. While we have a second, we're going to take a peek to see if we can see some of the updated scores from around the WDA. As the Wildcats and Tetons made just about wholesale changes. Final from Bismarck against Miles City for women. Bismarck won 78-47. Tribes outlasted Dawson 68-56. 6 minutes left to go in the second as Lake Region holds on to a 3-point lead against Botno. In Glendive, Dawson on top of United Tribes 57-39, and Miles up on Bismarck 20-14. Inbound play coming. It will be Hunter gets the ball in to Calmise. He'll push it up the court. Looking back door for Wolf, nothing there. Look to cycle his way through. Here comes Hunter on the drive. Kicks it out to Wolf on the wing. Up on top. He'll get to Calmise. Look to break down on Marks. Gets a drive. Throws a one-handed shot up. No good. Mackay will pull down the board. He'll get it off to Will Olsen. Olsen pushes it back up the court. He's going to lose the ball. Picked up by Hunter. Tetons have to scramble to get it back. Tip pass. Olsen with the steal after the pass. And there's going to be a foul called against Jason Panat. So Panat freshly into the game as well. And that'll be free throws coming for Will Olsen. So the Tetons will get a couple more free throws, looking to push the lead back out. Panat with his first personal as Carson Hare now at the stripe. Will knocks down his first of two. He has 5 points and a chance for 6. It'll be Inget checking out of the game for Hare. Next one on the way is going to be up and good as well for Will. He has 6 in the game now. Tetons up 87-53. Hunter Jr. looking to drive on Hare. Hare does a good job, pokes it away, but Hunter is able to pick it back up. Calmise looking to work his way, driving on Johnson. Turnaround fadeaway jumper. Tough shot by Jonathan Calmise. Got it to go. 87-55. Hare with a long pass over to Olsen. Olsen's going to be stripped, and he's going to be fouled as well. We'll see who it's on. And it's going to go on Calmise. That's his second personal. Well into the double bonus now. Has 2 more shots coming from the line for Olsen. Olsen from the line for 2. First one on the way is going to rattle out. No good. He'll get 1 more. 3:52 left to go. And that one is good from Will. He now has 7 points in the game. 88-55. Hunter bring the ball back up the court for Science. He had Panat way open underneath. Panat now calling for the ball. Calmise again. He'll pull the trigger from the elbow and get that one to go. 4 straight points for him for the Wildcats. Long pass to Johnson. Gets it across over to Olsen. Long pass to Hare across the timeline. Hare bounce pass underneath to Leon. He's going to put it up and in. 2 more for Freedom. He has 4 points in the game. Will Hobbs set to check back into the game. Under 3.5 left to go. Hunter looking to drive. And there's going to be a foul called on Hare. And Hare pulled the chair out from Hunter, and they called that a foul. So that'll send Darnell Hunter Jr. to the stripe. 9th team foul, still a 1-and-1 coming for the Wildcats. And the Lewis and Clark elementary kids, a little bit past their pet time as they have all but headed home here. Now it'll be Johnson checking out of the game with Hobbs coming back in. Hunter at the stripe for a 1-and-1. First one on the way. That's off the mark. No good. Pulled down by Leon. He'll pick up the loose ball after it's tipped away from him. Still a loose ball picked up now by Pinot. He'll get it on the low block, and he's going to be fouled by Hobbs. That'll send Jason Pinot to the line for a pair. Hobbs picks up his second personal foul. 10th team foul on the Tetons. That'll now be 2 shots coming from the line by Pinot. Tetons up 90-57. Here with still 3:09 left to go. Pinot at the stripe. Here comes his first of 2. That one is going to be good. He cracks the scored column. We'll have one more. Pinot at the line now for his second of 2. Next one on the way. That one is good as well. He goes 2 for 2 from the stripe. Now has 2 points in the game. Olsen gets the inbound pass. He'll push it up the sideline. Gets it bounce pass over to Leon. Long pass over to Hare. Hare into the corner. Hobbs for 3 from the wing. That's good. Eden Hobbs with a triple. He has 9 points. Tetons up by 34. Up the court now. Cal Mace with a mid-range shot again. Hobbs will pull down the rebound after it lipped out. Up to Hare now. Hare with a long pass over to Olsen. Bounce pass in the corner to Marks. Gives up an open look for 3. Back out to Olsen. Olsen now looking to drive. He'll sky and dunk it in there. Will Olsen flying through the air for 2 more. Will now has 9, 95-59. Hunter gets stolen, has it stripped by Hare. Hare off to the races. No one coming to challenge, and he's going to put it up and in. Carson Hare with his first field goal of the game. He had 2 free throws earlier. 97-59, 2:15 left to go. Calmese bringing it back up the court, and there's going to be a foul called on Calmese as he pushed over Olsen, going to set a screen, so Calmese will pick up his 3rd personal. Tetons will take back over with 2:12 left to go in the game. Inbound play comes to get it into Hare. Hare tall pass up to Hobbs, and he's going to take a big bump, rolls the ball into Mackay, gets it underneath to Olsen. Olsen again with the flush. 99-59, 40-point lead for the Tetons. Calmese coming back up the court, looking to drive. He's going to lose the ball, but they're going to call a bailout foul, and that'll send him to the stripe for a couple. So Tetons 1 point away from hitting the century mark for the 2nd straight game here at home. Foul's going to go against Mackay Marks, just his first personal. 2 shots coming from Jonathan Calmese at the stripe. Calmese is off-centered by about a foot on the line. First one is going to be up off the back of the iron, no good. Seen a few players throughout calling games over 15 years have an offset look, as we're going to get a good ovation from the Teton faithful after a make here from Calmese, and he knocks it down, and we will get Mackay Marks coming out of the game. So Io Awaro checking into the game for the first time. Leon wide open. Hare gets it now on the perimeter. Carson maybe got away with a walk. Here comes a drive by Olsen. He's cut off. Back up to Hare. They're going to look to try to feed Io to get him in the scoring column. Hare with a tough drive. Is the finger roll up and in. 2 more for Carson Hare. 101-61. Just over a minute and a half left to go. Calmese. He'll have it on the wing. He gets a wide open look to the bucket, and he's going to be blocked by Hobbs. Second chance after the offensive rebound. Calmese will put it back up and in. He has 14 points. So back up the court now comes Carson Hare. Calmese is the game-high scorer for Science. Io comes around the corner, and he's going to be fouled by Wolf, who jumped in front of him. That'll send Io to the line for a pair, and that's going to be it for Riley Wolf. He'll foul out with 10 points scored in the game. So Wolf fouls out with 1:11 left to go. Io to the line. Coming in is Jack Repshear. Io's first one is going to be off the back of the iron. No good. He'll have one more coming from the line to try to beat every Teton getting in on the scoring party here. Second one is going to bounce around. No good. It'll be pulled down by Kahn. Kahn will push it back up the court. 101-62. He'll have it on the far wing. Crosses over. Looks to drive. Olsen with a good defensive effort off the board. No good. Be pulled up. Leon gets it up to Olsen. Olsen drives. He's going to get it down low. They're going to look to see if they can't feed Io to get him in the scoring column. Olsen with the baseline drive. He's going to dribble through into the corner. Knocked out of bounds by Hunter with 47 seconds left to go in the game. 17 on the shot clock. Tetons have not taken a timeout all half long. They have 6 timeouts left. Hare calling for action. Io cutting down low. They're going to up on top to Olsen. Olsen with a straightaway three-pointer. High rebound is going to hit the back top of the backboard. And that'll be out of bounds back to Science with 42 seconds left to go. Up the court now comes Calmes. He's sitting at 13 points and a three-pointer coming from the wing for Kahn. He'll knock it down. 101-65. 4-second differential between the shot and the play clock. Hare's going to drive. He's going to stop throwing up off the board. No good. Loose ball. It'll be pulled down by Kahn. He's going to flip it behind him to Calmes. One touch underneath the Hunter, and Hunter puts it up and in. And that'll be the final 20 seconds of the game. Hare now marches it back up the court, and the Tetons flip it up to Io, who will hold on to it. He'll wait the final couple of seconds, gets it off to Olsen. Counts on Olsen as Kahn comes up to play defense. He'll flip it over to Carson Hare, and the Tetons are going to come away with a 101-67 win here at home against NDSCS and the Wildcats. We're going to run to go pick up the post-game scoring or post-game stats. We come back, we'll wrap it up and send you on our way here from the well in Williston.
I noticed that last night, but I didn't want to point that out. That's a picture you should have. Sure, working around with the camera.
Mike Ritter back here. We are post-game. The Tetons win over NDSCS by the final of 101-67. Tetons put on an impressive second half, outscoring Science 56-37, outdoing their first half performance when they took a 15-point halftime lead into the break, 45-30. Taking a look at the scoring breakdown, it is Jonathan Calmes leading the way. He had 18 points in the game on 6 of 13 shooting, a three-pointer, and 5 of 6 from the line. Ninas Palaskis with 13 points in the game, 10 for Riley Wolf, 5 in each from Sebastian Mackey and Shadman Khan. 4 points in from Evan Repshear as well as Michael Citron. 4 points in as well from Darnell Hunter Jr. and 2 points in from Jason Panat and Khalif Bettis. Shooting in the second half for Science, they went 14 of 38 from the field for 36%, 3 of 17 from deep for 17%, and 6 of 10 from the line for 60%. Overall in the game, 25 of 67 from the field for 37%, 5 of 28 from deep for 17%, and 12 of 17 from the charity stripe for 70%. 25 total rebounds for the Wildcats in the game, 22 defensive, 3 offensive rebounds. They were led by Cintron, who had just 5 rebounds in the game. He had 4 at halftime. Wildcats had 7 assists, 10 steals, 1 block, 19 turnovers, and 19 personal fouls committed. Looking at the Tetons, they're led in scoring by Rex Sterling with 22 in the game. He was 6 of 9 from the field, and he went 10 of 12 from the line. 15 points coming in from Richard Massey, 11 from Will Olson, 9 each in from Akai Marks and Eden Hobbs, as well as Ben Yambi. 7 points from Josiah McDonald, 6 points from Carson Hare, 5 from Ian Johnson, and 4 points in from Demetra Kindle and Freedom Leon. Looking at shooting in the second half for Williston State, 19 of 31 from the field for 61%, 3 of 6 from deep. After that poor 2 of 13 shooting in the first half, they kept it primarily within the arc. And from the line, they went 15 of 19 for 78%. In the game, they shot 37 of 70 for 52%, 5 of 19 from deep for 26%, and 22 of 29 from the stripe for 75%. The Tetons had 49 rebounds in the game, so they were a plus 24 in the rebound margin, an absolutely ludicrous number. They're led in rebounds by Rex Sterling. He had 16, 9 defensive, 7 offensive rebounds. The Tetons as a team had 40 defensive and 9 offensive rebounds. 14 assists led by Ingots 6, 14 steals led by Ingots 3, 2 blocks, 19 turnovers, 16 personal fouls in the game. Looking at the advanced stats, points in the paint, 60-28 Tetons. Points off of turnovers, 28-15 Tetons. Second chance points, 10-4. Bench points, 52-35. There were 4 ties. All of them came very early in the game. No lead changes, so the Tetons had at least a tie or the lead wire to wire here in this one. Last field goal for Science came with 14 minutes left to go in the game. Tetons were held without a bucket throughout the final 140. Largest lead by the Tetons was 41 points, coming with 140 left to go in the game. So the Tetons get a huge win here at home against NDSCS and the Wildcats, and the men go 2-0 on the weekend, or on the Sunday and Monday trip. Looking at now the conference scores, we'll take a look at if any other scores have reached their final. This one is a very quick game. Over in Miles City has a 6-point lead at the half over BSC, 38-32. Lake Region came back from being down at half to Dakota College at Bottineau. They won that one 84-67. And Dawson up 21 points to start just a minute into the second half over United Tribe, 63-41. Looking at now the updated conference standings on the men's side of things, as the Tetons have a firm grasp now of that number 2 seed as they trail Dakota College at Bottineau by 3 games. As Wilson comes in with a 7-3 record, they're ahead of United Tribes, who has 5-4, and Lake Region State and NDSCS, who have equal 5-6 records. If Miles Community College can hold on to beat Bismarck, they would also be in that three-way tie for fourth spot, with here a few weeks left to go of the 2024-2025 season. So a big-time win for the Tetons here at home as they keep on rolling. Well, looking at what's coming up next for Williston State, as they will have a few more weeks left before the tournament start. Coming up next is going to be on the road next Sunday and Monday. It'll be at United Tribes on February 16th, and then the next day at Bismarck State College on the 17th. So a couple of big games for Williston State to keep their firm hold on second place. And it does not appear that anyone's going to be able to catch Dawson unless something crazy happens in the few games remaining. On the 23rd and the 24th, the Tetons will have a chance to give Dawson their first conference loss of the season when the Buccaneers come here to the Well in Williston. And the season finale will be at home again here in Williston against Miles Community College and the Pioneers. Tournaments for the Tetons are going to get underway in March, and the region tournaments set to kick off on the 2nd of March. Games set on the 2nd, the 5th, and the 9th of the district tournament scheduled for the 15th. That's going to be it for this edition of Teton Basketball right here on 660 Keys News Radio. I'd like to thank everyone who helped make this broadcast possible, as well as you for tuning into this and every edition of Teton Athletics right here on YouTube. Until next time, sports fans, I'm Mike Reuter.